This is the summer TBR that I bought from home. It's like this. Groundbreaking, never happened before. All our drawers are on the floor. He is down so bad for her, it's insane. Hello everybody, as you can probably tell, I'm in a new room, and that brings us into this week's video. I am on holiday and I am gonna try and have a sort of reading week. Basically the whole video is gonna be read with me for a week. I'm gonna talk you through what I'm reading, what I think of the books I'm reading, and just like the overall bookish vibes, which I feel like we can't complain about. Kind of just want to start off this video with a haul. I went book shopping today and I got a couple of books. I'm not sure if I'm gonna read them this week, but I got them nonetheless. This was a really cute bookshop called Second Chapter Books, and all the books were really cheap. They were brand new books, but they were all, I think, under £5. So I got two. The books I got were, the first one was Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. I've heard great things about this. I'm assuming it's going to be like a light holiday read. Maybe I will get to this week. I have a whole summer TBR, so I'm not 100% sure, but this looked like it would be a great vibe. And I've heard great things. Just from looking at the back, I think it's like a celebrity romance, which kind of can't say no to. And this was £2.99, which is a bargain. Then I found The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton, and I've heard great things about this. The bookseller was like hyping it up, and I thought I'm really gonna like this. Apparently it gives Bridgerton vibes, and it just looked really good. And this was £3.99. So like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get to either of these this week, but thought I'd just show you what I picked up. I think let's move on to the reading vlog section of this video. This is gonna be like, I'm not entirely sure. We'll film footage here and there and we'll try and compile it, but ultimately it's gonna be realistic read with me for a week when I'm not working. Apparently made myself a chai latte, so we're booked and busy. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have been reading on my Kindle In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. I'm not gonna lie, I DNF'd the last book I was trying to read, and I'm really close to DNFing this. I'm just really not getting into it, and I don't think I'm actually in the mood for a thriller, even though I convinced myself that I was. So I think I'm gonna DNF this as well, even though I DNF'd the last book I was reading, and we're just gonna move on to something else because I've been trying to read this for days and I can't get into it. I don't know if I'm in a reading slump, I don't know what's going on, but that's besides the point. So I think we're just gonna shelf this for now. Will I come back to it? I don't know. I am 21% through. I'm just really struggling with it. So let's park this for now. I'm gonna go and grab my summer TBR. I'm on holiday in the UK, by the way. The weather's okay, but the thing with the UK summer is you either get rain or you get like 30 degrees. I feel like we don't really get an in-between. So I'm gonna get my summer TBR and we're gonna decide what book we want to start for this video. This is the summer TBR that I bought from home that I selected. I probably won't get to all of these, and obviously now we have these two more, and I'm going into Nottingham this week as well, so there's a Works and a Waterstones, so I'm probably just going to buy more books. So we really need to read some of the physical TBR. I think the one I want to read, I'm like stuck. I kind of want to read Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. Penguin just sent me this, and I think it comes out on the 15th of August. I don't have like the press release with me. I think it's the 15th of August, but it's definitely a cowboy romance crossed with a hockey romance. But I want to say it's Brother's Best Friend, but I'd be lying when I say that. But maybe we start with this, because this is one that I need to read soonish, because it does come out soon. Thank you so much, Penguin, for sending me this. Obviously very excited, but I think this is the one I'm gonna start. And like I said, I just need to get into something and stick with it, because I keep like picking up stuff and DNFing it because I don't think in my like soul I actually know what I'm in the mood for, which apparently is dangerous. So we're gonna pop these to the side, pop my two new books. Might as well put my two new books onto the holiday TBR. But yeah, I think we're going to give Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope a go, I reckon, because I think this is going to be a vibe and I'm really excited. Brighter days are on their way. I've just opened the book. There's a playlist with a QR code. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited for this. Okay, we're gonna give it a go. Okay, First impressions. I think I'm really going to enjoy this. So, I was right. It is a brother's best friend. And essentially, so Cece is in a very toxic relationship and she ends up leaving him and she moves back to her hometown, which is like small town cowboy ranch vibes. Anyway, her and her friend go out on like this girls' night where all the ladies go out. And it's every Sunday night. So they all go out and she hasn't been back in her hometown for a good couple of years, and she runs into her brother's best friend Nash, who now owns the bar and runs the bar that they're in, and he is a retired famous hockey player. So essentially she's like, yes, like Nash is hot, she's just not blind to see that, but she's also thinking like this is basically like the toxic kind of bad boy that she kind of run away from in her past relationship. So she's like, yeah, I kind of can't go there, but obviously she's gonna go there. And it's dual POV. We're just about to get into Nash's point of view. I'm on chapter 3 and I just know I'm gonna eat this up, like there's no question. He's very protective as like the brother's best friend, and it's kind of giving Done and Dusted by Lala Sage, which is also a cowboy romance brother's best friend, which I read not long ago, last week or the week before, so it's giving like the same vibes as that, and I really enjoyed that book. Page 19. I'm gonna love this, I couldn't really tell. Good morning. It is the next morning. I feel like I look the exact same. It looks like I haven't done anything. So yesterday I read 42 pages of Holding the Reins. Going out today, I'm going to take this with me. I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't really have anything else to update you on. Other than the banter, it's just top tier. And that's like the blueprint for a successful cowboy romance book. So also take a second to appreciate that my bookmark matches my book. That's just a vibe in itself. Okay, it's later on in the day. I'm actually nearly halfway through and we have just gotten to the big, like, you know, these books very much follow, for like cowboy romance books, follow like a basic blueprint. They're all kind of the exact same thing, but it's like, you know what you're getting, and like that's sort of comforting in a way. I can't really think of an example, but like you just basically know what you're in store for, you know it's gonna eat, and it's just like mindless reading and I love it. And I've just gotten to like the big declaration of feelings, which will always just make me go insane. My jaw is on the floor and I'm literally like this. Before I get to that, I thought I'd give you a bit more of a plot. So I kind of just told you the basis, but essentially, so Cece is now living back at the ranch, like I said yesterday, and she essentially gets a job at Nash's like hockey coaching, like I don't really know what it is. It's like a hockey ground and he coaches and stuff, and he owns it as well as the bar that he owns, I think. And she gets a job as an accountant at the hockey training stadium company thing. So it's like he is then her boss essentially, but he is very protective. I think I said that yesterday, it's brother's best friend essentially, but kind of gives it in the sense like it's very similar to Powerless by Elsie Silver, but not so similar that it's like a copy, like a carbon copy of the book, you know, like sometimes you can just tell that it's basically the same book. It's not like that, but it's giving that vibe in the sense that Cece and Nash have been like known each other since they were kids. They've kind of grown up together in a sense, but they're not related by any means. But he's very protective. Like we learn at the beginning that he kind of beat up people in high school that were talking bad behind Cece's back, and he's just very protective and all of a sudden slightly obsessive. And I will say it slightly falls into the trope of like, she's like no other girl. Like she's like one of a kind. Like he was a playboy until he realised that she existed. And then it's like he's a changed man, which is very insta love. And it's just a given in books like this, but sometimes it does annoy me. I don't seem to mind it in this one, but yeah, insta love can be a tricky one sometimes. Anyway, I'm gonna read like the climax, the declaration of love. I am very excited and I've read a good chunk of this today, so I'm proud of myself. My god. This is crazy. Look, Nash is very straight to the point and not very, you know, like he's no Gus from Beach Read, or like he's not very poetic with his words. It's just straight to the point, and you know what? Sometimes that's just what you need. There. Teddy, you out there? Do you want to come in? Ted, do you want to come in? Hello. Hey. Who it is, everybody? Oh, that is absolutely lovely. Hello. Hey, Teddy. Oh. I just want to give like bonus credit to this book, because I don't know if this is the actual book or it's just a proof copy and all the books are going to be this floppy, because Penguin books or just UK books generally aren't really floppy. But look, this is probably one of the most floppiest books, and I don't mind reading books when they're floppy because you just can have them open like this. Like the Magnolia Park's original covers are like this, and I don't mind it because I can just have it open. But yeah, I don't know if when it actually comes out it's going to be this floppy. I really hope it is, for your sake. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. Let's continue reading. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm aware I haven't filmed that much in terms of updates for Holding the Reins. I feel like every clip I've filmed, I've been in the same position. I just want to say, I really enjoyed this. I don't think I've read a mix between a hockey and a cowboy romance before. I was worried it was going to be very book-talkified and like, you know, like just kind of written for the sake of including all these different tropes. And it almost didn't feel like that. It felt really engaging and I really enjoyed it. That all being said, still 100% without a doubt the definition of insta love, and it 90% of the time I didn't mind it. There were points where it kind of bothered me and I was like, oh, this is really annoying, but for most of it, it was okay. He is down so bad for her, it's insane. It's like the blueprint for the brother's best friend trope, and it's very, very similar to Done and Dusted, Powerless. It all gives off the same vibes. But that didn't mean I didn't enjoy it, and it's one of those books you kind of go into knowing what to expect, knowing what you're in for, and sometimes that is what you need. I really like the characters. I don't have any complaints. There were parts where I cringed slightly, especially with some of the spicy scenes that were slightly cringy, but apart from that, I really enjoyed this and I would highly, highly recommend you read it. It's going to be part of a series, which is exciting, and it's not very often that I read the like sneak peek of the next book in the series. I'm like, oh, like I get to the end of the book and I'm like, that's an accomplishment in itself. But I actually sat and read this next like excerpt from the next book because I'm really excited for the next book of this series, and that's kind of something. I really, really like the side characters and I'm excited to get the stories of Cece's brothers, and I feel like that's going to be super fun to read. Would I recommend you read this? 100%. Is it anything mind-blowing and like life-changing? No, like you probably will have read a blueprint of this book before in one way or another, but I did really enjoy the mixture of the cowboy and the hockey. I will say it's not really that heavy on the hockey, other than the fact that Nash, the MMC, is a retired hockey player, and he has like a stadium thing and like a program where he trains people. That's kind of the only hockey. It's more cowboy geared, but even then not that much. It really focuses on the brother's best friend trope, and it gives the cowboy ranch aesthetic more than like the cowboy. Like Nash refers to himself as like a part-time cowboy. look, it was a vibe. It was a vibe. I would actually recommend you read this. And like I said, I'm super excited for the next one. I think I'm gonna give it 4 stars. Just because I was hooked and I looked forward to sitting down and reading this book, which I think warrants a decent rating. Thank you again so much, Penguin, for sending me this. Genuinely really enjoyed it and I'm so excited for the next one. If you fancy sending me the next one, I'm here. I'm happy to receive. And if not, I'll be reading it anyway. I'm gonna grab my holiday TBR pile and we're gonna choose the next book. I have got the stack. Obviously, I've added the 2 that I bought the other day. I'm not sure what I want to read. I don't really feel like reading a romance now, but I feel like I need to get into something, you know? I kind of feel like reading the new one that I bought, but I think I might go for The Murder After the Night Before. This, I believe, is like a fiction thriller mystery sort of vibe, and it's quite short. So I'm thinking maybe this is the one I go for. So I've been really looking forward to this. From what I'm reading on the blurb, the narrator of the book has a hangover and she wakes up and there's a stranger in her bed and she doesn't know what's going on. But all she knows, like she can't remember anything from the drunken night, and then she realises her best friend is dead. The police think it was a tragic accident, but the narrator knows she was murdered. And basically she needs to find the killer. So I think it's going to be a bit more of a contemporary mystery thriller. I feel like it's going to be a vibe. I don't know if I want to read this or I want to read something else. I think I do want to read this. And then maybe we'll go on to this, but I'm not sure. Let's start this. We'll give it a go. I'll give you my thoughts and we'll go from there. Hello, I am here with an update. Okay, I don't have the book, it's in the other room, but I started reading it on the train. I went into Nottingham today just for a bit of shopping. I ended up buying Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I started and I think I got about 50 pages in on the train ride. I am really enjoying it so far and I am unbelievably hooked. My only issue was that I read it on the way out and on the way back I was just so exhausted that I had a snooze instead. So that is all I've read so far. I'm just going to give a warning to everybody. If you have a metaphobia in like any form, I don't think I'd recommend this book. I do not have a fear of vomit in any way, shape or form. And the first like, I don't know, 5-10% of this book was a no. Like I was like, I feel icky reading this. It's very vivid descriptions of being sick, specifically in regards to being hungover. Let me grab the book as a presentation prop. So Molly goes to like a work party on a weekday night. She gets violently drunk and completely blackout drunk. She does not remember what happened whatsoever. She ends up waking up the next morning with a stranger in her bed. She has no idea what his name is, no idea how he got there, no idea if anything happened, literally no idea. The memory is non-existent from that night. And he basically says to her, oh, I kind of found you on the street. You were very drunk and not knowing where you were going. So he helped Molly, brought her back to her apartment, stayed the night because she was all so intoxicated, a danger to herself essentially. So he stayed the night and they essentially part their ways the next morning. She goes to work the next morning and everyone at her work is like, bestie, why are you here? You shouldn't be here. I can't believe you turned up. This is insane. You need to speak to the boss. What the hell happened? And Molly's like, I don't remember. I was so drunk, I don't remember. And she's obviously panicking because as an anxiety-ridden queen, I would be panicking. She goes into her boss's office and her boss is like, this video has been circulating online. This is not good. And she shows her a video and that's kind of where the book starts. So look, I'm excited. I'm really into it. It's not that long. I could sit and get a good dent of this done, but I am still slumping out. And I thought I was over this slump, and I keep talking about this slump over and over again. And I thought I was out of the slump, but I don't think I am. And I've just been rotting in bed. And usually when I'm not on holiday, I don't let myself rot in bed. But I don't know what's wrong with me and why I've been letting myself rot in bed. But I just get nothing done and no reading done. It's not healthy. So I'm gonna make a cup of tea, kick myself up the arse and go and get some more of this book read, and I'll give you an update. Because I am genuinely really enjoying it and it's really engaging and it's straight into the story. chair is also so comfortable. I think that's a given though. And of course, I have the obligatory mint tea. If you know me by now, you know this is my favourite. I also burnt the roof of my mouth on my katsu curry earlier. We don't need to talk about that. We're getting into like the thriller mystery aspect of this book now. Like the way it starts off, it doesn't really feel like it's gonna be that way. It feels more like it's gonna be like a romance. And I imagine it will have like a subplot of romance in it, but we are now getting into the more mystery thriller plot, which is what I came here for. And I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying this so far. Okay, I'm pleased to inform you that I've finished The Murder After the Night Before. I think I gave you kind of what it was about yesterday and gave you my thoughts. I pretty much demolished the whole second half of this book in one sitting this morning. This had me right up until the very end. And I ate this up and it was really, really good. This is the blueprint and the perfect definition of a bingeable book in one sitting. If you said to me, what book do I need to take on holiday that I can sit by the beach or by the pool and just read in a day? This is what I'm recommending. This was the perfect holiday read. And I loved it. I gave you the plot. I gave you everything you needed to know yesterday. It's very twisty and I really enjoyed the back and forth. I will say it's not, like, you know, there's just some books that you feel like wouldn't translate well to screen. Kind of felt like that about the Good Girl's Guide to Murder adaptation. I feel like it just didn't translate to screen well. And I don't think a book like this would translate to screen well, just because of its very, I can't really explain it. It's almost a mindless read. It's not crazily action-packed, but a lot happens, which makes no sense. But yeah, that makes no sense. That's it. Essentially, you could read this in one sitting and it not be too overwhelming and overstimulating, I think is the best way I can describe it. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I really, really enjoyed it. And the best way I can describe it, I'll put my Goodreads review up here, but I think I said something like, it was genuinely a hot mess. This book was a hot mess, but in the best way ever. In the most positive way a hot mess can be. This was a hot mess. And I kind of loved it. It felt so chaotic and I don't know, it's so hard. Like, to be saying quietly chaotic an oxymoron because that's what it felt like. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. And 100% a beach read that you can read in one sitting on the beach and you will devour this and have the best time. I have no idea what I want to read next. We actually go home tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to start a new book. I have to pack all my things up. And I've been procrastinating. Oh, I bought Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. So I could read that, but I also have Summer Romance by her. And I have a few. So I'm not 100% sure. I haven't made my decision yet. And I don't quite at the moment have time to read because I need to start packing my stuff up. But I might come back to you later when we start the next book for this video. Or I might be at home. I don't really know where this is going to go. But you won't have to wait long to find out because the next clip I will have made a decision. So yeah, thank you so much for hearing me chat about this book because I really enjoyed it and I highly, highly urge you to read it because it was kind of unlike any other thriller I've read, almost. It was very unique and I love that. I just thought I'd give you a little update. I'm not going to go too into depth now because I'm tired and I'm probably not going to get very far into this book before I go to sleep. But I think I've decided we're going to read Nora Goes Off Script. I basically just want a really short read. They say that she looked, it's like 270 pages. No, less than that. 250 pages. I feel like this is just what I need right now, that I can something that I can just binge in a couple of sittings. And I literally bought this yesterday, but I'm really excited. So it's Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I have a couple of her books, but I have heard so many people raving about these books, so much so that I feel like I have FOMO. I feel like I'm missing out. So this one is essentially, so Nora's husband walks out on her and their 2 kids, and Nora is like struggling with the collapse of her marriage, and she is a screenwriter, I'm assuming for romance films, and I think it's going to be like a romance between her and one of the actors on her screenplays. Like I said, I'll update you once I've gotten a bit further in and let you know kind of the vibes, but I don't know why I feel like this is going to give like Abby Jimenez, Emily Henry energy. I'm hoping it does, but like I'm not expecting. I'm trying not to go into books expecting big things because as we know, when I have high expectations, I'm more often than not disappointed. So we're gonna give this a go and I'll probably give you a little update in a bit or in the morning. We'll see how far I get. You're gonna have to face that I'm just gonna talk to you in this position because I'm very, very comfy right now. So essentially, Nora has written a screenplay like based on her and her ex-husband, I'm assuming. Her and her ex-husband's relationship and like their breakup and kind of everything that went down. They're filming it in her house, in Nora's house, and there is like a famous actor called Leo Vance who everyone is fangirling over. Naturally, I'm sure I would be the same, and he is starring in the movie. So basically he has met the kids, he's met Nora, they're having like some banterous chat, and essentially that's what we've gotten up to. I'm assuming Leo and Nora are getting closer, and I'm assuming there's gonna be a romance arc, which we love. Feel like I owe you all an update. It's actually many days later. I don't know if you can tell by my voice, I haven't been very well. I came back from holiday and then I got sick, which I feel like just tends to happen to me a lot. And I've been kind of like reading, but also rotting in bed, but also working because I was straight back to work. So we haven't really read. So there hasn't really been anything to update you on. I'm still going on Nora Goes Off Script. Truly don't remember the last thing I updated you on. I don't think I've actually updated you since I got home. I'm 75% through this beauty. This is phenomenal. I am really enjoying it, and I don't even remember what I said. I think I spoke to you when I just started it, and it's not a long book at all. You really get Nora's inner thoughts, and it very much reminds me of a Emily Henry sort of style of writing, and I know immediately from this book that I am gonna love Annabelle Monaghan's books. I'm really enjoying this. I also have Summer Romance by her on my physical TBR, which I'm really excited to read. And that's my little update. I will be finishing this today, giving you my review, giving you my rating. The spoiler, it's going to be a good rating because I'm really enjoying this so far, and it's just the word choices and just the way it's written is just so beautiful, and I love it. I thought I'd just give you a little update because I know I'm aware it's been a hot minute. I'm here to inform you all that we finished Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. This was great. This was amazing. And I was making a TikTok and I was writing my Goodreads review one-liner, and the first thing that popped into my head was, you know in Beach Read when Gus Everett says to January, I feel overwhelmed you exist. I feel overwhelmed that this book exists, literally. Look, I'm going to cut to the chase. I gave this a 4.25. The fact that I gave a book this thin a 4.25 is like groundbreaking, never happened before. All our jaws are on the floor. I don't even know really what to say about this book other than if you like Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry, you will love this. I feel like that's all I need to preface with, and like you just go into this blind. So easy to read, so fast paced, just ultimate vibes. I've already told you what it's about, I'm pretty sure. Again, I was saying in my TikTok review, I don't want to say it's a beach read because I feel like that almost discredits it a little bit, because when I talk about a beach read, I'm talking about books that you read, devour in one sitting and kind of move on from very quickly. I will not be moving on from this book. This was just perfection in the way it was written and the way it was just crafted. It was a great time. I feel like I already knew going into this that Annabelle Monaghan was going to become one of my new favourite authors, from like who has really enjoyed it, like people who have read it and really enjoyed it and what they have said about it. I just knew straight away it was going to give Abby Jimenez, it was going to give Emily Henry, and I'm so happy because I crave those books sometimes and I just need them, and this makes my heart so happy. I'm so excited because I also have Summer Romance by her to read as well, which I didn't get to when I was on holiday. Highly, highly recommend this, and probably any of her books. Like I said, as I read her other books, I want to try and include Summer Romance in a reading vlog because I feel like that'll be really fun. But love, love, love. 4.25. I'm gagging to read all her other books. With that being said, we have read all the 3 books for this video. Was this reading vlog a bit disjointed? Yeah.
But look, getting it anyway because I read some really good books. I read 2 4 stars and a 4.25, so you're going to be getting it either way. Hopefully it's long enough and hopefully it's digestible. But I think, to be honest, it's just a lot of me chatting, and if you don't like that, then you're not going to like any of my other videos, let's be honest. I read some great books in this video. We read Holding the Reins by Paisley Hope. We read The Murder After the Night Before by Katie Brent, and we read Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan, and they were all a vibe. They all did different things, they all served, and I ate them up. And realistically, when you're reading on holiday, there's not actually that much more you can ask for, and they were all great holiday reads, and I'd highly recommend them as holiday reads. Specifically The Murder After the Night Before, that was like the purest holiday read ever. I loved that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more chatty reading vlogs. I promise there are lots more coming. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you when I see you. Bye!